Ever wonder what it's like to live in Tampa Bay's cutest beach town? By the end of this video, you'll learn all about Dunedin, Florida, and be able to weigh the pros and cons of living there. By the way, I'm Shay Green with Impact Realty Tampa Bay. If you know anyone that's moving to Tampa Bay, or if you yourself are coming here and you have questions about the areas, I'd be happy to help answer those. So feel free to give me a call, text, or shoot me an email. Dunedin is the cutest beach town in Florida, in my opinion. It's definitely a very desirable place to live. There's tons of awesome breweries and restaurants. It has a super cute downtown vibe, and it's also really artsy, and there's quite a bit of cultural things happening there. There's live music, and it's also really close to beaches and nature, which is cool. So you kind of get like downtown vibes without actually living in a big city, and it's still kind of got that laid back beach town kind of vibe as well. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of living in Dunedin, Florida. Okay, so let's talk about the best things about Dunedin, Florida. Number one is, of course, the beaches. Dunedin has Kayaking Island and Honeymoon Island State Park, and both of the beaches here are amazing. They're award-winning. I think Dr. Beach just named Kayaking Island as the number 4 for best beaches in America. It's been number 1 before multiple times, but this is what makes Dunedin such an amazing beach town, because the beaches are beautiful, but also they're a little less developed than some of the other beaches. So and especially Honeymoon Island, there's like miles and miles of walking, hiking, and biking trails. Kayaking Island is also mainly accessible by boat, so that makes it way less crowded and kind of more like a locals type of beach. Honeymoon Island also has a dog beach, which is super fun to take your dog to. Another thing I love about Dunedin is it has a really cute downtown that's super walkable. There are so many events and festivals happening all the time. There's live music by the water, there's farmers markets, and of course, seasonally, there's just all kinds of festivals. They do a Mardi Gras festival, a Scottish festival. There's just a lot of stuff going on there, and it's super, super fun. There's also tons of biking and hiking in Dunedin. So obviously with the state parks right there, then there are several parks with miles and miles of trails. And then the Pinellas Trail, which is a super big biking and hiking trail that goes through like all of Pinellas County. It does go through Dunedin as well. So there's just lots of opportunities if you're into that more outdoorsy stuff. Another thing I love about Dunedin is you can catch a Major League Baseball game here. So the Toronto Blue Jays actually have their spring training in Dunedin, and they play at a super cool ballpark. It's pretty small, but it has a cool retro vibe. So it's awesome to be able to catch a MLB game for a really good price, and you can see some big stars here. Like a couple years ago, we saw Bryce Harper play when the Blue Jays were playing the Phillies. So it's just a super fun way to spend an afternoon. And last but not least, my favorite thing about Dunedin is it is one of the most dog-friendly and family-friendly areas in Tampa Bay, in my opinion. Most restaurants do allow dogs out on the patio, and there's lots of breweries that allow dogs as well. And then for families, there are just so many fun events that you can take your family to. Obviously, with all the beaches and outdoor stuff too, there's just a lot of fun stuff to do here. Okay, so let's talk about the cons. The biggest con is that Dunedin can be expensive, and I say can with a caveat because I think there are ways to live in Dunedin more affordably, and we've been able to help a ton of clients buy here at really reasonable prices. Like we're actually under contract right now with a couple buying in Dunedin, and it's for under $500,000. So it's entirely possible to own your own home there for under $500K. But depending on where you live, it can get really expensive if you want to be like right, a block away from downtown, or if you want a lot of square footage. If you want to be right by the water, obviously the price is going to go up. But also, if you're fine with a smaller place, you can definitely find condos in the $200,000 range in Dunedin. So just depending on what you're looking for, I think there are options in different budgets. Another con to Dunedin, as with many places in Tampa Bay, is it can be pretty popular with tourists. So depending on the time of year, it can get a little bit crowded. That's just something to be aware of. It's not going to be as touristy as other places like Clearwater, for instance, but you will see some tourist crowds. And the last con about Dunedin is because it is waterfront, you are going to have to potentially worry about flood zones and evacuation zones. So if you are buying a home here, please reach out to someone like myself who can help you navigate the flood zones. So hopefully this video gave you a little bit more insight into Dunedin, Florida. If you have any questions about Dunedin or other places in Tampa Bay, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for watching. See ya.